Well, hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Pixar Post podcast. I'm TJ.
And I'm Julie.
And we are very excited. This is another big week for Pixar news, so let's get right into it. So the first thing we wanted to update on is a little bit about, well, let's talk about what we're going to talk about this week. We're going to talk a little bit about the Blue Umbrella, some updates there. We're going to talk about a potential Good Dinosaur logo that has popped up in the website world. We're going to talk about Brave at the Annie Awards, but let's kick right off and talk a little bit about us. Obviously, first off, we want to discuss, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but we want to talk about our new logos. We're very excited about them.
Yes, we're very excited that our logos, our ideas, are now, they came to life.
Right. We had the original logo that we had mentioned we were going to be redoing, but we had the original logo. We got into contact with Greg Gosline, who is the gentleman that won the Toy Story threadless t-shirt contest.
Yeah, Evil Dr. Porkchop.
Yeah, he won that design. We did a write-up on that, so if that name sounds familiar, that's because we did an interview with him not too long ago. And there will be a contest in the coming week surrounding that, so keep your eyes out on our site. That kind of plays along with Greg and the threadless t-shirts. So keep an eye out there. It's just so bright and vibrant now.
Yeah, he did such a great job. He took, like I said, our ideas and brought them to life better than I could have imagined.
Yeah.
And the podcast one is my favorite.
Yeah, because there's 3 variants of it. The first one is the one we use at the header of our website, which just has the A113 on it.
Yeah, and that's just the postage stamp.
Right, it's the standard postage stamp. The second one is one we use for Twitter, Gmail, other social media type places, because it has just the Pixar Post tag. And then we have the reason we wanted to do this whole thing in the first place is because we wanted a specific podcast logo. And in that one, we're excited about it because it has the headphones.
Yes, the old school headphones.
Right, which looks pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
So, and then a little bit more about us. You know, we mentioned last week that Pixar Canada received their custom PartySaurus Rex, and we were pretty excited. They did post a few more photos this week, and we saw one of them was they took it to the Spark CG Society. They had a job fair event this week. And the Spark CG Society is they promote and foster the local computer graphics community, and it's based in Canada. So if anybody wants to check them out, they're sparkcg.ca. And we were pretty excited that they brought our PartySaurus Rex to the job fair.
Yeah, Pixar Canada, again, their Twitter line is at Pixar Canada. They did post a couple cool pictures of PartySaurus Rex there, so it was really neat to see him at this event.
Right, and we haven't updated our post from the previous week, but we will do that with some of the new photos. So go if you want to see some of the new photos, you can either see them on Twitter or head back to our post where we did where they first received it, and we'll update those photos there. Additionally, this week, let's get into the big news for the week, though. The 40th Annual Annie Awards happened yesterday.
Yeah, last night.
Which was February 2nd, 2013. And the awards had a little bit of a wacky side. Obviously between the fact that you have a lot of animators and voice actors together, there's some quirkiness there.
Well, it's a big event, and there's usually a lot of little technical challenges in big events.
Yep, there were some technical challenges. There was a couple moments where the crowd kind of got a chuckle because they were showing either the wrong feed for which, like for instance, when it was the,
I can't remember offhand, but they did show a different video, but they did fix it and recommend,
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was
fine.
Though. It was funny, though. But so it was, there was a sighting as well at the event of Mark Andrews and Steve Purcell wearing kilts.
On the Annie red carpet?
Yes.
Yes.
And they presented an award that way as well.
Yeah. And what I found kind of interesting is the sporran, I believe it's pronounced, or the like the Scottish purse that men wear with their kilts.
Sporran,
something like that. But Mark Andrews, he had a leather one with a skull and crossbones, which I kind of thought was kind of neat, very individual, kind of showing personality. So I kind of like that. And the picture is actually on our Facebook page as well as our website.
Right, because
you want to see that,
because we did do a wrap up of the event. We did a post of it as far as the awards that Brave and Pixar won for, as well as we had a exclusive video of their acceptance speeches.
Yes, we did post the,
So let's talk about some of the categories that the Brave was up for. They were up for a total of 8 awards. They won 2, and the awards that they did not win in first, let's talk about those. So first was the category of music, which Wreck-It Ralph, if you haven't heard, was the big winner for the evening. So Wreck-It Ralph won for the music category, Best Original Music. Rise of the Guardians won for Best Animated Effects, or I should say Outstanding Achievement for Animated Effects. There was also a category for Character Animation, which Paranorman won for. Writing, the Outstanding Achievement in Writing, Wreck-It Ralph won for. Outstanding Achievement in Voice Acting, Wreck-It Ralph won for, which that one is the only one that we really thought that Brave really strongly should have won, at least in our opinion on that one.
Kelly MacDonald nailed it with Merida's voice. I mean...
Yeah, and we
even seen the clip. I mean, it was almost 2:00 in the morning, our time on Eastern Standard Time, and I wanted to watch Brave even just by seeing these clips that they were showing.
Right, yeah, and in thinking about it, I mean, Kelly MacDonald was such a staple and strong feature throughout that entire movie and just put so much passion into it.
Yes.
That one was the only one that we were kind of like we were thinking, hey, we felt that one more than the others. The other one that they did not win but were up for was the Best Animated Feature, which, not a huge shock with the way that the evening was going with Wreck-It Ralph, but Wreck-It Ralph took home for Best Animated Feature. Now, the 2 categories that Brave did take home the Annie for, which, by the way, we should take a step back. For anybody that maybe doesn't know, tell a little bit about what the Annie Awards are.
The Annie Awards it's basically achievement in animation. It's like the Animation Society. They vote, and this is their award night.
Right. So the woman that started the event said that there's Grammy Awards, there's all these other different awards that are very focused in areas, and she felt that there should be one for animation. So started the Annie Awards. And again, this is
40 years ago. This is the 40th?
The 40th annual. So just to take a step back there for a second, but the 2 awards that Brave did win for and win the Annie for was, the first one was in editing. And Nicholas Smith, Robert Graham Jones, and David Suther took home for Outstanding Achievement in, as they call it, editorial.
Feature animated production.
In a feature animated production. And they all gave, very gracious speeches.
They thanked the Brave crew.
Directors, producers,
everybody.
Yeah. So that was
all 3 of them had a chance to give their thanks, which I thought was nice.
Yeah, it was very nice because usually, at more standard award shows, Oscars, Emmys, something like that, it's
usually one person giving it for the group. So I thought it was nice that they were all given their chance.
Yep. The second award that Brave won for was for production design, in which Steve Pilcher won, which we were absolutely thrilled. I mean, the production design, and I know obviously we're, leaning a little bit more towards Brave and all the research that we've done on it and reading the Art of Brave book, but I truly felt that it was the correct choice in that category for sure. And Steve Pilcher, probably one of the better parts, well, not the better part, but the best part of his acceptance speech was when he thanked his wife and family, and it really was a touching...
very heartfelt.
Yeah, it was heartfelt. It was a touching moment. So definitely check out our post where we did the wrap-up of
the video. You can watch it right there.
Right, so you can catch it yourself. So that was pretty exciting. And a lot of the animators at the event afterwards were tweeting about how great it was and how much fun that they had. And so that was kind of cool.
Yep.
So looking forward to the upcoming Oscars and to see how the animation awards will play out there.
Yeah.
It certainly, because of these awards, gave a little bit more...
I mean, it's going to be a close race, if you ask me.
It's going to be a close race. It's definitely got some people talking on Twitter, though. It was interesting to see how people were talking and saying...
I mean, animation this year was phenomenal, if you ask me.
Lots of great movies.
Lots of great animation.
Yeah. All right, well, let's jump to the next category, which is talking about the potential, and I'm going to say that again, potential Good Dinosaur logo. And now the Good Dinosaur is an upcoming directorial... Our lead directorial debut of Bob Peterson, who was a co-director on Up. The Good Dinosaur, though, is scheduled to be coming out on May 30th, 2014. And if you know Bob Peterson at all, he voices a lot of characters from other Pixar movies. For instance, Roz from Monsters Incorporated, Mr. Ray from Finding Nemo, and Doug from Up, among others. And he's done so many aspects within Pixar, from storyboarding and, the list goes on and on. But Pixar News, another Pixar website out there, received an anonymous picture of the potential Good Dinosaur logo. And we did a post of it this week, so you can check it out. And we referenced the two previous logos that had been out there. Or not logos, but images that have been released of the Good Dinosaur. And one of them was on December 31st, coming soon. Another website received...
like a postcard.
A postcard of upcoming features throughout
Pixar.
From Pixar for the upcoming couple years. And one of them showed an image of the Good Dinosaur. Now, the logo does represent that image that was seen in that postcard. And just to describe it a little bit, but be sure to check it on our website. It's kind of what you would think it would be. It's very earthy in the text of the Good Dinosaur. Almost feels like it has a rocky edge to it.
Yeah. Now, here's where I become skeptical that this would be the actual, in fact, logo. It kind of seems like it might be too far out to even have this released, even if it was accidentally released. So I'm not quite sure that this is the actual logo.
Yeah, and with a May 30th, 2014 release, it certainly may not be.
But it still sparks it's getting me excited about this movie.
Well, yeah, it's exciting by any means, just to see or hear anything and start
kind of being like, okay, well, that's, May 30th next year. It's not too terribly far away when you think about when we started to learn about this movie coming out.
Right, because originally back in April of 2012 at CinemaCon. CinemaCon, John Lasseter revealed that the movie would be, being worked on, and it was Bob Peterson's lead directorial debut. So
you'll have to go on our site and check it out and just, let us know your thoughts. What do you think?
Right. Yeah. Is it legit? Is it potentially, a fan made?
It very well could be.
It could be. But again, it's got just the text and the outline of the dinosaur.
It's very simple. It's clean, but I'm still skeptical.
Yeah. No, that's okay. And, only time will tell.
Yes, that's true.
We'll see what'll happen there. So moving on this week, we had talked in our previous podcast that we were going to be doing some fun...
just fun, videos regarding the Blue Umbrella.
Right. So this week we did create a short video using Vine, which again is Twitter's a video sharing application that you can download. And again, our username is you can look us up with Pixar Post. And we showed in our video the title character from the Blue Umbrella, the Blue Umbrella.
The blue.
Moving a bit and blinking. We did it in a stop animation style, and we created lots of eyes that we cut out of gaffer's tape and stuck to the umbrella and moved them very slightly. It was a challenge setting it up.
I think we had eyes, eyebrows, and different mouths.
Right. So yeah, I went through and I took screenshots of the original short, laid them out on paper, and kind of... as I was cutting out the eyes, putting them all on the sticking them onto another spot while I was working through them and numbered them all. So in this shot, we need eyebrows 1, mouth 2.
Yeah, I think we had 6 variations of each one. I think
it was pretty close to that. Yeah, some were 6, some were 7.
Yeah,
the eyebrows had the least, but it was fun to do. Definitely a challenge. We're learning from it, and we're planning on doing some more. So
yes,
keep an eye out.
The hardest part, I think, was getting him illuminated from the underside to get that bright, vibrant blue that his character is. I think we might have come up with a couple different variations to do that in our next...
Yeah, it's our first video doing anything stop animation, so it was fun to do. And we were excited, though, because Director Sachka Unseld actually posted our video onto the official The Blue Umbrella Facebook page.
Definitely.
So that was pretty exciting.
That was really neat.
Yeah. So he said it's very cute, and got a couple other directors' comments out there from Twitter as well. Mark Walsh and Enrico Casarosa commented on it. So
yeah. So if you haven't gone to the official Facebook page of the Blue Umbrella, can't even talk, definitely go check it out and like it. Sachka writes stuff all the time, posts videos from behind the scenes.
Right, and in fact, one of those behind-the-scenes videos that he posted this week, which we did a post on our site as well, was he called it Variations variations on the umbrella or something along those lines, where he discussed not discussed, but showed like a wallpaper style outline of some of the different styles of umbrellas that will be appearing in the city streets throughout the short. So that was kind of neat just to see that.
Definitely.
And speaking of the Facebook page as well, something that he posted on there just a few days ago is that he is actually soliciting not ours, but everybody's feedback and questions for a making of presentation that he's going to be doing on February 14th. Now, the world premiere
is on February 12th.
But he's going to be doing a making of presentation on the 14th, in which he has said, hey, what do you want me to talk about in this presentation? And what else, do people not typically talk about that you want to hear about in a making of presentation? So it's going to be really interesting. So certainly get out to that, the Blue Umbrella Facebook page.
Get your questions out there. And let him know what you want to know about this short.
Yeah, and who knows, you could be featured during his presentation.
Yeah, your question might be asked.
That's pretty neat.
You might be answered, I should say.
Yeah, not asked, but answered. Either way.
Yeah.
All right, well, that pretty much wraps up the bulk of this episode, but let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing over the coming week here. So in the coming week, we're going to be, if you notice on our official website, at the top bar where all of our buttons are, there are, home, podcast, fan art. There's a little bit of space available there, and we're going to be building out some pages where we're going to be talking about current and upcoming movies and products in the Pixar world. So we're going to be having an easier way for people to access that list of current feature films, where we're going to list out the director, official release date.
Yeah, basically all the information that you would need to know about these great films.
Right, and all clickable, so that way you can get right to posts related to that. And then also talking about what's going to be upcoming, not just movies, but also products. So when the Art of Monsters University book will be coming out, things along those lines. Just trying to make it a little bit more user-friendly. We heard some great feedback from our listeners and readers that they wanted that as well. So anything else that you may want to see or hear on our website, let us know. Of course, we can't promise anything, but we'll certainly try to accommodate anything. And when we heard that feedback, we said, you know what, that's a fantastic idea.
We can do that.
Let's make it easier. And then, like we mentioned as well, keep an eye out, because we're going to be announcing that upcoming contest as well, which is going to be a threadless themed contest. So keep your eyes out there.
Definitely. That's going to be fun. I can't wait.
Yep. And signing off from the Pixar Post podcast, this is TJ.
And Julie.
And be sure to tune in to PixarPost.com throughout the week for your latest Pixar news.